So we've talked about how these rookies shine, and you said Facundo, which is kind of, but and some role players that shine. But the man who's behind all these decisions is usually the coach, the main coach, and there's no playoffs coach of the year, which is pretty disappointing. So we wanted to make one ourselves. So who would your pick be?
My pick has to be Monty Williams for Phoenix Suns. Last season, obviously they improved in the bubble. Like they got invited to the bubble and had a great run. They almost made the playoffs. They were 34-39, 0.466 PCT. So that's like their win rate for the Phoenix Suns 10th seed. And this season, wow, they improved so much. 51 wins, 21 losses, 0.708 PCT. So it's like 70.8 win rate, right? In this season, second seed behind Utah. I mean, Utah was amazing. So I think Suns, they were very close to getting the first seed. But I think they had the fact that he improved that team into such a high seed team, and they made the finals too. I think Monty Williams definitely deserves a shot. You can't say the coach didn't do anything. It's just the players, Well, they made it. They made it to the second seed. They got to the finals. There is a quote that Popovich made on Monty Williams. He said, "Oh, he's obviously a fine basketball coach, but he said, but his ability to relate to players, to be genuine, to be honest, no tricks, no smoke screens, just a straight up caring, loving man. It shows. It comes out, and players react to it." I think this shows that Monty is a great coach, not just tactically, but also as a leader that ties the group together. I think that's what I think Monty's the way he brought Chris Paul. They brought in Chris Paul. He transformed DeAndre Jordan into a very good pick and roll player.
DeAndre Ayton,
sorry about that. Yeah, I'm so used to saying DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
they get DeAndre Jordan. No, DeAndre Jordan. Anyways, DeAndre Ayton. He was not a great pick and roll player before. He was a great attacking option, right? He's a great mid-range shooter, fast. That guy's huge. So he was great by himself. But when it comes to pick and roll with Devin Booker, it's not happening. Chris Paul, it happened. He was amazing. I think he was the best center one of the best center in the playoffs. Well, what happened? The way I think Monty Williams designed that in order for all the players to succeed. Like I can already name it, like Chris Paul, D Book, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton. They formed a team. Like they formed a serious team. You cannot discredit Monty Williams. I think he is my coach of the year.
I would agree. Only if the NBA Finals stopped when the Phoenix Suns were up 2-0. Guess who flipped that? Mike Budenholzer. Mike Budenholzer. I gotta rep my guys. But it's so weird to say this, but he made amazing adjustments in the playoffs. So weird to say this as a Bucks fan. I just said number one scapegoat before, but I used to hate him too. But obviously another apology form needed to be filled out. But Coach Budenholzer this season, he's came through a lot of deficits. 2-0 down against Brooklyn. People might say that's injuries, but whatever, man. Just go over with it. Against Brooklyn, that was his worst coaching series, so I wouldn't talk much about it. Against the Hawks, they were down 1-0, and they came back game 2, destroyed the Hawks. And then Giannis was out for 2 games, and they won both games without Giannis. That's just huge adjusting from Coach Budenholzer. And against Phoenix too, down 2-0. You guys can say, oh yeah, it's all Giannis. Giannis scored 40 points in the game 2, but then with the right coaching, they won 4 straight. Right? In game 2, they lost. And that pick and roll with Middleton and Giannis, or Drew and Giannis, or even making Brook Lopez and Drew Holiday be more aggressive in game 5 and 6 against the Atlanta Hawks, that was crucial. So crucial. Made Brook Lopez look like Kareem Abdul-Lopez, and made Drew Holiday just look like Drew Holiday was the first option. Drew Holiday looked very great. Drew Holiday in that series, or not in that series, I should say, in that time span, he was just outstanding. And yeah, it's just so weird to say this, but I think one of the biggest challenges that Monty had was Chris Paul. right? Chris Paul in the finals, obviously last 4 games he was not doing good. One thing that Bud did was instead of having Chris Paul be more comfortable with the ball, as soon as Chris Paul touched the ball, Drew Holiday's right there. Or whoever was guarding him. Like Pat Connaughton would be guarding him here and there. So Chris Paul was definitely uncomfortable, and you know the results. And then have Holiday guard D Book, or letting D Book run first, and then making him be confident about the last shot, you know. And then Holiday strips him. You know the stories. But having D Book alive more than Chris Paul was a huge adjustment in my opinion. You might say, "Oh, Budenholzer sucks at coaching. D Book be scoring like 40 points here and there," but I think D Book getting hot is better than Chris Paul getting hot, because when Chris Paul's getting hot, everybody else is getting hot.
Everyone's going to take over me.
D Book, when he's hot, he's hot. Others, not so much. Like Cam Johnson could have easily averaged like 15 points per game. Mikal Bridges too, Jay Crowder. If Chris Paul was the main ball handler all the time, but Coach Budenholzer knew that, put Tucker on D Book instead of Drew, and put Drew on Chris Paul instead of having all the switches here and there. So great adjustment by Coach Bud. Again, very weird to say this, and yeah, I think it's an easy choice. But I want to give a shout out to Nate McMillan. I like the Pacers as well, but as a Pacers fan, I'm like, why didn't you do this with the Pacers? But for Atlanta, this guy was great. With I think the best tactic that we've seen from Nate McMillan, the hack of Simmons. Yes, right? It's like this guy was saying, who's gonna guard Ben Simmons? The free throw line. The free throw line. So he knew that. He took advantage, just hacked Simmons whenever he could for the 26 points comeback. That was crucial. That was one of the most crucial things. And then with Lloyd Pierce, the former coach, the Hawks were 14-20. But Nate McMillan 26-12 right before the postseason. And just an amazing job. Like, you can't say what Nate McMillan did. You can't discredit anything that Nate McMillan did, because you could say it's like you said, it could be all players, but it's really not. The game is really not. And sometimes you can see that, like last year with the Bucks, or the year before, but you get the point. So Nate McMillan was a huge part, and I just wanted to give him a shout out.
Nate McMillan, something I would say about that is I've seen Trae Young open. I saw Trae Young open. That's already done and said. Like already like the big mans and the what is it, John Collins or Capella, they're setting up good screens. He designed it in a way they could set up a good screen for Trae Young to have an open shot. That guy shimmied. That guy had time to shimmy. Like that's
against my Bucks. But yes. But yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that guy. I think that kind of explains it enough. Nate McMillan definitely deserves a shout, honorable mention.
Hey, thanks for watching Away End on YouTube. To lose more IQ and sports knowledge, subscribe to the Away End channel.